Hi everyone, my name is Alexander Hamilton Dunlop, and we're here for another weekly teaching from, I got it backwards, from this unbound book of wisdom, which to me is the most important wisdom that we have in our human experience. It was hidden in plain sight. You may know this as a way to play poker or go fish or gin rummy. And yet, it's actually a book of sacred geometry. All these symbols are sacred geometric patterns. The kings, queens, and jacks are icons that have been layered over the top of the sacred geometric patterns underneath and hidden from us, persecuted, banned, not allowed. You cannot know this knowledge. And now it's come back to light. This sacred, ancient, timeless knowledge has come back to us. It's come back to us now because we're at an important shift in our human consciousness. We're on the verge of a quantum leap in our collective consciousness. And I believe that this is the tool that's going to provide the foundation for us to elevate to the next level of our humanity. And that's why this knowledge has come back to us now at this time. As it was prophesied a long time ago by various peoples, the Maya and the Hopi, that after 2012 there would be a shift in consciousness on this planet. And it was in 2012 that it first came to me that this is the tool that would be the elevating foundation of our consciousness, that actually this is the same book of life that was hidden in plain sight that the Bible refers to. These are the lost tablets of Thoth that the emerald tablets of Thoth reference, and it was all hidden in plain sight, and now we have access to it. There are 52 cards, quote unquote, in this deck. There are 52 weeks in the year. So this is a time map, among other things, of our reality. So we are in the 47th week of our year, which means we are in the 47th card in the deck, which is the 8 of Spades. That is the energy frequency of this week. Much like the weather report, although you may not be able to see this weather pattern with your physical eyes. This is about seeing with our inner eye, seeing the underlying patterns, hi Roseanne, that form our reality if only we had the eyes to see. It's not unlike someone else who once said, the kingdom of God is all around us if only we have the eyes to see it. The Book of Life, this Book of Life, reveals to us the energy patterns that are all around us if only we have the inner eye to see it. Now, what's the benefit of knowing this? Well, once we know what are the energy frequencies that we're all moving through, then we can stop struggling. We can get in tune and in harmony with the energy frequencies and the energy patterns. So we're not struggling against the current or against the grain, but we can move with the energy and with our own free will choose to be in harmony with the intelligent mathematical design of our reality. And when we do that, we find that we enter into a space that religious people have called God's grace, this place where things come to us in an apparently effortless way, serendipitously and synchronistically. Things line up for us because we are in tune with the currents of life. So what does that mean when the 8 of Spades is present? Spade is the symbol of consciousness. It's an acorn, and the 8 is the infinity symbol. Now, on this deck that I had printed, I took away the numbers on the corners so we can see the sacred geometry more clearly. And there is a figure 8 here, and maybe you know this already, but there's a figure 8 in this pattern. And knowing where it is will really help us as we endeavor to play this 8 of Spades well. And I'm going to cut to the chase and just tell you that it's right here in the white space. That's where the figure 8 is. And that's really important for us whenever we're encountering the 8 of Spades, is we want to make more space. We want to allow the flow. We don't want to constrict or compress the energy, which is tempting to do when this powerful energy is present. We may try to work really hard and do a lot and accomplish a lot, and we may inadvertently compress the energy and constrict ourselves and get ourselves tied up in knots. So when this energy is present, the 8 of Spades, as it is this week, it's more about taking a deep breath than it is about trying to hammer things home on your to-do list. It's more about being in the vision of what's possible and holding that intention with your inner eye than it is about bulldozing your way forward and trying to force things to get done. If you find that you're forcing things with this 8 of Spades present, then you've probably gone astray. If your mentality is, I just have to bang this out and get this done, then you're probably going to get yourself constricted and compressed and tied up into knots. And one good way to notice how you're playing the 8 of Spades is to notice your own breath. Do you give yourself the time and the space to take a full and complete inhale and exhale? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. To complete the full loop. Now, if you know the ancient symbol of healing, you know that this is the ancient symbol of healing, this caduceus, that's 2 snakes woven around the caduceus, the kundalini energy, this figure 8 energy, and that is the shape of our full inhale and our full exhale. And if you look really deeply in your patterning of your inhale and exhale, you'll notice that. It's not an accident that this straight line, that's the spine, that's the caduceus, and this pattern of a woven snake around that, that is the symbol of health and well-being. So that's what we have that's possible for us when the 8 of Spades is present, to find our natural harmonious state, where dis-ease is when we're out of harmony. So finding our harmonic flow, finding the harmonic resonance, that's what we're looking for when the 8 of Spades is present, so we can be in harmony with who we are. And being in harmony with ourselves, finding that things line up for us synchronistically and serendipitously. So that's where I invite you to focus your attention, is how can I be more in harmony with myself, rather than how can I get shit done? Right? How can I be in my flow and be in tune will create a graceful presence and a graceful set of actions. It's a bit like being in a yogic flow where you're maybe in a difficult asana, but you're breathing fully into it. And that's the real work, is how do we breathe fully, even in a difficult, stressful situation, which is a very different approach than how can I just power through it, and how can I fit more into my schedule, and how can I 10x my productivity, and how can I get more done. So to play your cards right this week is to take a deep breath and set an expansive vision. See how wide you can cast your loops, so to speak. See how big you can paint your picture. How big is your vision? How expansive can you perceive your reality? And how deeply can you breathe into the reality that you want for yourself? And in a very real sense, by your breath, you're setting the stage for that. You're holding literally the space for your vision to manifest, for you to work toward your reality that you want. Now, to me, it's no accident that we call this a spade. It's an acorn. but we call it a spade. And to me, language is always revelatory. And what we use a spade for is we use it to dig, or a shovel, or a spade we use to dig in the garden. And what this offers us, this seed of consciousness, is a shovel to dig out the reality that we want. It's a spade to dig into the subtle field of energy that's all around us and to dig out the reality that we want for ourselves. And the way we do that is by envisioning it, by imaging it, imagining it, by projecting from our own consciousness onto the screen of consciousness what it is that we want. And we project that image, and that is the image that then carves out our reality. And then we hold that space with our breath, and we breathe into that possibility, and that's how we manifest it. And the way that we know that we're on track is because it feels good. It feels exciting and stimulating and passionate. It brings us a sense of peace and calm as well, because we're envisioning what it is we really want. So holding that vision, that's what's possible this week with the Eight of Spades, and breathing into the expansive flow of that reality in your life. And perhaps what we say to give our minds something to focus on, because the mind is a separate instrument. The mind wants something to hang its hook on. What we can say is, as a mantra, I breathe into the expansive vision of my reality. I breathe into the expansive vision of my reality. I breathe in to the expansive vision of my reality. Thank you, everyone. Good luck playing your cards right. And as always, may you live your life like it's your favorite game to play.